In a world of otherworldly electrified cars, there tends to be a lot of hype and not much substance. Consider Faraday Future, which was supposed to take down Tesla, or the Cybertruck's windows, which weren't supposed to break. Let's hope California-based car startup Czinger bucks that trend. Sitting just inside the entrance of the Peterson Automotive Museum in Los Angeles is the Czinger 21C, a $2 million hybrid hypercar boasting Formula One technology and a laundry list of impressive specs. With its dramatic, swoopy curves, aggressive front splitter, and imposing rear wing, the 21C could, at first glance, be dismissed as yet another piece of vaporware from a boutique car maker selling a pipe dream to eager collectors. But for Czinger Vehicles founder Kevin Czinger, the 21C represents the future of automotive construction. The Czinger 21C is developed using artificial intelligence and 3D printed by the American car manufacturer Czinger Vehicles. Manufacturing began in 2021, with a planned production run of 80 units and deliveries starting Q1 2023. Designed, developed, and built in Los Angeles, California, the Czinger 21C launches the new brand Czinger Vehicles, named after its founder, Kevin Czinger. The car was to be presented at the Geneva Motor Show in March 2020, but the show was cancelled due to the COVID-19 pandemic. It was presented on March 11, 2020, in London during a special event. The Czinger 21C is a decadent supercar designed to get car enthusiasts aflutter on social media. It has winding curves, cranks out a record-breaking lap time, and, as mentioned before, will sell for $2 million. Before we get into more detail about this beautiful hypercar, just a reminder that we have a bonus fact for you towards the very end, so stay tuned. Number 1. Performance. The 21C's in-house designed hybrid powertrain uses the world's most power-dense production internal combustion, or IC, engine at its heart. Zinger's mid-mounted proprietary 2.88 liters flat-plane crank V8 with twin turbo produces 950 bhp and revs to 11,000 rpm. The V8 is coupled with an 800-volt electric drive system. An additional 300 HP of electric power comes from the pair of independent front motors that are housed within the front printed subframe structures. Electric energy is stored in the car's 4.4 kWh, 430 HP high-performance battery pack, which is charged by harvesting from the IC engine via a crank-driven motor generator unit, or MGU. The total combined hybrid system delivers a peak output of 1,250 HP or 932 kilowatts with a 1,350 HP or 1.006 megawatts option available. The 21C powertrain features a 7-speed sequential transaxle gearbox with an electro-hydraulically actuated multi-plate clutch. The 21C has a 1,350 HP hybrid drivetrain that puts most of the power, or 1,050 HP, to the rear wheel in a car. The Los Angeles-based company says tips the scale at less than 2,900 pounds. Counterbalancing those wild stats is a claimed 1,406 pounds of downforce at 100 mph and 5,626 pounds of downforce at 200 mph, the limit of what the street tire sidewalls can handle before they burst. The 2023 Czinger 21C is rock solid under heavy braking, with massive 16.1-inch front and 15.4-inch rear carbon ceramic brakes, shedding any speed the twin front electric motors and the 2.8 kilowatt-hour battery can't recoup. Turning into a bend, the car feels incredibly neutral from the back seat. The real party trick is how the 21C exits corners. The car doesn't so much as shift laterally, it just goes. How street tires can put down more than 1,300 HP while coping with this much lateral G defies logic. Again, this is what actual race cars, what racers call downforce cars, feel like. It wasn't computer wizardry either. Czinger is still developing the traction and stability control calibrations, so Miller drove with them off as we turned laps on the Thermal Club's South Palm track. He said the powertrain can indeed blow the tires off the car if you try to do so, so he deliberately applied a setup with mild understeer and progressive breakaway at the limit. As a result, he thinks amateur drivers will feel more comfortable behind the wheel. The result is a car that, from the rear passenger seat, feels like a high downforce race car. The shock of the lateral G it pulls is matched only by the corresponding stability while doing it. Number 2. Interior. Designers at Alcantara, the made-in-Italy lifestyle brand based in Milan, worked with Zinger's development team to create a range of cutting-edge applications for Alcantara's lightweight and sustainable materials, 100% carbon neutral since 2009, to customize the Hypercar's interior. 2 versions of the 21C will be available. The 21C road car will feature a light beige, ecru-colored Alcantara interior, while a lightweight track-focused variant of the car will offer unique 3D embossed black Alcantara material. The road car's seating has hand-woven center sections, enriched by piping lines with black Alcantara seat bolsters. The interior of the 21C track vehicle is equipped almost entirely in black Alcantara. The driver's seat features embossed 3D Alcantara in a hexagonal pattern achieved with the proprietary Alcantara embossing process. Alcantara also is used on the vehicle's steering wheel, instrument panel, door panels, and flooring. The iconic design of the 21C is based on the concept of functional art with performance-driven line logic that gives rise to the car's dramatic shape, a concept also reflected in Alcantara's combination of sensory, aesthetic, and functional qualities and supported by Alcantara's support for artists, designers, museums, and other artistic initiatives around the world. Number 3. The 3D Revolution. If this all sounds crazy, it's because nobody else builds cars like Zinger. A vast majority of the 21C is 3D printed by the largest, most advanced printers in the world. Where typical 3D printers use 4 lasers, Zinger's, built by parent company Divergent, uses 12, and the next generation of the printer is already being built. They're fed by aluminum alloys formulated by Divergent scientists specifically for their final usage. These massive printers can crank out in hours the same complex parts that formerly required days to print. Like most 3D printers, the chamber where a piece is created is only about the size of the inside of your oven. So several smaller parts must be joined together to make larger assemblies, like, say, an engine cradle. Each part has tongue and groove style joints on its ends, and they're bonded together with 2 proprietary adhesives. The first cures in 2 seconds when exposed to ultraviolet light, which shines in through tiny windows on the side of the joint. Its job is to hold the parts together while the primary adhesive curves for over an hour. Still, the first adhesive is strong enough to hold the whole thing together, while the assembly comes together with no external support. With this kind of manufacturing freedom, the whole assembly line process required a rethink. Parts don't move down conveyor belts to stations to have more and more pieces of stamped metal welded on. Instead, robots are arranged in a circle. One robot in the center picks up the first piece and holds it in place, while other robots reach in and apply adhesives and additional pieces. The robots use lasers and cameras to see each other and the parts rather than relying on pre-programmed positioning. In a matter of minutes, a complex component comes together and is ready for final assembly after an hour of cure time. We appreciate you staying with us this far, dear viewers. Here's the promised bonus fact as a token of our appreciation. The record time was run on September 23rd at 9:50 a.m. CT with driver Joel Miller piloting the car. The 2:11:33 lap time was recorded on multiple GPS systems. The previous record had been 2:17:12. On July 21 at 7:43 p.m. PT, the Zinger 21C Hypercar with driver Joel Miller behind the wheel set the record in a multi-GPS verified time of 1:25:44. The previous track record was held by the McLaren Senna, with driver Randy Pobst setting a time of 1:27:62. What do you think about this amazing car? Is this something you would buy? Comment down below and let us know what you think. If you enjoyed the content, uplift the channel by hitting like, subscribe, and ring the YouTube bell to meet us again in the next video. Until next time.